So you got to set that.
I'm giving it like a minute to refresh the stream and stuff. Because it'll show me the one that was just broadcasted a couple minutes ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Fun stuff.
Hopefully this is playing right now. So it says disabled. So that's the old video.
Piano with deep bass is sick.
I agree. One watching. Okay, so this should this be working now? Fuck, man. At least you know now in the future what to do.
Yeah, my bad.
Well, it's all good. Learning process. So.
God, I'm gonna have to figure out a way to optimize my laptop so I can do that with the Dynamic Duo podcast.
Yeah.
It's just not gonna be as efficient as yours.
I mean, I'm just watching chats on there, so it's not, you don't need a supercomputer to do it, you know what I mean? You're just doing the chat. Pretty much do on anything.
Yours seems to load things faster though. Mine doesn't.
True. What is going on? This is the old one still. Because now we have it on the logo, so this should refresh
I see what you're saying.
as the logo, so that's when we'll know it's... Is this good? Okay, there it is. Also, you might have given everybody a wrong... whatever. They'll find it if they want to find it.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
On Facebook, the shared link. So once we get that...
Well, at least they can get to our channel.
They can get to our channel, so we'll know in the future is make sure it's running fresh first, and then share the link. Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll probably have to like start at like 6:50, 6:55. Make sure everything's up and running. You know what I mean? That way, by the time it's 7 o'clock, like we're starting.
Okay.
Also, this needs to shut the fuck up. Okay. So now you can press record now on there.
Scene 1, right? Or scene?
Yeah, scene 1 live, and we are live streaming on the air.
From New York.
All right, I'm gonna try this new angle. I'm gonna change the angle of my seat, and we're
You
gonna
can't really see how we are. That's nice. That's interesting. Hopefully it's okay.
I already checked the
Okay.
video before, the height and everything, so we're at the same. Okay, roughly. All right, cool. Dope. How's it going, everybody?
What is up, guys and girls, men and women?
So I'm gonna start off by asking you how you're doing since you started off.
Okay.
Asking how I was doing.
Okay.
I noticed you seem like you're really stressed. So.
Switcheroo. I am stressed, but what's funny is I'm actually relaxed right now. But yeah, up until this episode too, I had a bunch of shit I had to dial in. Just so much, man. Just like 10 different calls, 10 different emails I couldn't get to because I'm busy working on job site issues and things like that. But no, I'm good, man. I actually look forward to these podcasts. They're kind of relaxing. Look forward to the topics we're going to talk about. I got a few different things to talk about.
Yeah, it's pretty good that we have the lo-fi in the background because I think that kind of adds to the relaxing environment. So.
Oh, absolutely. It's bringing the tension down, man. No, I'm good though, man. I just ate some pho, whatever. What the pho, whatever you call it. Malia just ate some of it, so.
It's a solid dish. You're eating that like once a week now.
Dude, it's the go-to for like when I'm in a pinch and I just don't have time to cook. They know me now. They know I want that vegan pho, and I just call them. They're like, "Oh yeah, is this Ben? Do that shit."
Is this Ben? That's how well known you are there.
Like, do it. They're like 10 minutes. Like, see you soon. It's just like automatic now.
10 minutes?
Yeah.
Fucking A, dude.
But yeah. How about you? What's
Well, I've been doing a little bit better. I'm just having a lot of anxiety, I guess. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Anxiety, and school's been kind of stressful. It's not like the school is stressful, it's just online schooling. I guess that's kind of one of the topics I want to talk about anyways, is kind of social distancing, kind of everything's digital now, and for people like me, I feel like it's really stressful. What are your thoughts?
What specifically stresses you out about the social distancing aspect?
Just not being around people regularly. You know what I mean? I'm around you, but besides
not
that,
enough.
You're not enough.
It's not enough to fill that need for you.
Yeah,
I'm coming up short, man.
It's like before this, I was, going to the gym, 4 times a week. I was going to the college, going out on dates, and now I'm just sitting here. I'm just playing video games, and
that could be fun sometimes, but yeah, I see what you're saying. You're getting disconnected a little bit, maybe.
Yeah, and it's really affecting me mentally a lot. So
maybe, man, what we need? I mean, of course, this is digital connecting with people, or digitally connecting rather, but this could help, man. Having more people actually conversating with us here and kind of joining the group and pitching in on this conversation. It's a way to stay connected and be social, really.
Yeah.
Digitally. I know it's a little different than actual human contact, and one-on-one conversations or group conversations, but
yeah, I think next week when we get guests on, I think it'll help too.
Yes. It's next week, next Wednesday, the 27th. We will have our first in-house guest on the show. Jake, the Snakes, Lloyd will be here.
Badass vocalist.
Sick ass vocalist. Dude puts out quality and has great technique. So stay tuned for that if you like metal music and just any type of vocal music, really. The man is pretty knowledgeable. Started out in choir. I don't want to give you his backstory. I'll let him explain that. But super cool guy, and I'm really excited to have him on. We could talk about some stuff, maybe do a little play with the strings a little bit and fiddle with the music a little bit, and yeah, we're just gonna have some fun with it. So stay tuned for that.
Definitely like to see some jams on here.
Heck yeah!
Should be getting my guitar back tomorrow, so
nice.
Maybe I could join in on it.
Yeah, that'd be funny. Some throwback.
that'd be funny. Yeah, it's been a while.
So yeah, that's gonna be super fun. Yeah, maybe sometime me and you'll throw down some music on here, even like acoustic or some clean stuff, even. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just kind of fiddle around with the strings and have some fun with it.
I actually want to start getting back into trying to learn how to sing. I can't sing, or at least well. I can sing badly. I want to learn to sing well because I feel like playing metal is really fun, but I feel like the older I get, the more I'm just going to want to write songs and be able to tell stories through music. And so I think that just being able to learn how to sing and write songs will be a very useful skill for me as I get older.
Heck yeah. The nice thing about music is, you keep it forever. It's one of those things that you do. I mean, you kind of get out of practice a little bit if you don't play for a while or if you're just not involved, but ultimately it's part of your life, unless you really don't play for 5 years or something like that. That's the beauty of music.
Yeah, there has been periods where I didn't play for 6 months or whatever, so it's a long time.
Gee, yeah, 1 month is the longest I've went, and that was brutal enough.
Yeah, every time I get back, I'm like, what is happening? It's like why work hands and then.
Yeah, I know the feeling. That just happened to me recently, actually. I haven't played for it was 3 weeks. I was seriously that busy. And we just had our first band practice, and I just kind of hammered it and chopped up a few different riffs. I was like, oh boy. It's the worst when you're playing a song and you get the riff wrong and you're trying to remember as you're playing it, and it's just not coming to you. You're like, damn it, I know what it is, but the riff is only 2 to 4 measures long, so by the time you do remember it, you're already on the next riff. And it's like, damn it.
On to the next, yeah.
Yeah, that's fun stuff. So yeah, that's the fun things about music too. But yeah, stay tuned. Snakes will be here next Wednesday. That'll be fun, real fun. What kind of stuff I got a bunch of stuff to talk about.
Jeez,
we got
exhaustive list of stuff you got going on there.
Yeah. I mean, without just touching base on all this, I just got a lot of things to talk about. I guess let me kick this off with my rant.
You got a
let's
rant?
Let's start with the rant here. Just because it's real relevant. I just went shopping and came back from Fred Meyer.
You want to talk about shopping? You get it off your chest, man. Because you know what's funny? You're going to talk about shopping. I almost made that a topic on my list. Is like, let's just talk about the fucking assholes at the store, man.
Yes, and this is something everybody can relate to. I know this for sure. But I don't know if it's ramped up or not, but what the fuck is up with this coronavirus shopping where everybody, it already existed before, but it's much worse now. You know what I'm talking about, the guy or the girl or the couple or the family that blocks the whole aisle when you're trying to just squeeze through. And so they'll, maybe they'll make their shopping cart like counter, just kind of cock it crookedly to block or they'll park it on one side and step on the other, so their cart is blocking one side and they're blocking this side, so there's just no way to get through, and they're sitting there looking real hard, and they're undecided. Me personally, it's irritating because I have a list of everything I need and I know exactly where it's at, so I'm like in and out and I'm very efficient. So for me, running into those douchebags where they're just so self-absorbed, they don't realize that there's other people shopping. They think that the store is just there for them. It's super frustrating, man.
That shit drives me fucking crazy. It's like
so
losing my mind, dude. I'm just sitting there just glaring at people the entire time I'm shopping sometimes.
That's just one element, Then you got the people that are just kind of cutting in front of you and just like kind of give you they either give you a weird funny look because they don't know how to socialize to people, or they don't know how to be polite as far as like, oh, thank you, oh yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah.
Just the simple things that I've taught my 7-year-old daughter. She's known since she was about 3 years old. I mean, I'm witnessing 60-year-old people acting this way, and it's like, what the hell have you been taught your whole life?
You know what's weird is like going to the grocery store. It's almost like oddly one of the places where you can see people in their like true light, you know what I mean? It's like people show their true colors in the grocery store, and it's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, no, that's so true, man. And I don't know why that is, because they're in a public setting, so you would think that people are kind of like trying to pose and put on an image, and nah, man, it's like the opposite. People just let go.
Yeah, it's kind of weird, because I'm like, all right, I'm going to the store, I'm gonna take a shower and get ready. I go there and people are just like, don't give a shit about anything.
Yeah, it's a struggle to go through. You know what I'm thankful for? The fact that I don't ever go to Walmart. I can't imagine what the situation like Walmart is like right now, because, oh boy, the type of characters you get in there. I haven't shopped at Walmart for food in years now, so I've probably only been inside of a Walmart one time in the last 3 years, I want to say. It's just a place I stay away from, so no offense if you go to Walmart, but
3 years?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Straight up.
That's
no, I hate it that much. It's just a bad experience for me. And Fred Meyer has its, moments, but I can just imagine how much worse it is in Walmart.
Dude, Walmart, it's just a bad environment in general. It's like the lighting, the staff, it's just everything about it.
You can feel the negative energy in there and you're right, it radiates. It starts with the employees, and that really just, you can feel that and see that aura, that it's just negativity constantly. And when you see an employee like that, oh man, you can just assume that the rest of everybody in the store is not having a good time.
Yeah,
because that culture's not there. You don't have a positive culture. At least I can say for Fred Meyer, if I had to pick a percentage, 70, maybe 80% of them are actually presenting themselves happy and being more friendly, and you know what I mean? There's a little bit more of a criteria for their employee staff and staff, you can tell.
Yeah, I think they have better benefits and stuff for Fred Meyer, so.
Yeah, and that's a whole nother topic, but yeah, people, businesses, pay your employees what they're worth, okay? Otherwise you're gonna get shitty results. You're gonna get unsatisfactory customer service, and it's just gonna continue. You're gonna get bad reviews. It's just a bad review and a bad what's the word I'm looking
business
for?
Practice, or
it's bad business practice. It's a bad way to present your business, though. I mean, these are your people who are working for you, and they represent. It's a bad representation. There we go. Poor representation of your, unless that's how you want to be presented as.
I don't think they give a shit. The Walmart higher ups, the upper management, I don't think they give a shit. They just care.
Walmart,
The bottom line.
very clearly does not give a shit. But yeah, people, pay your employees better. Get them to start treating other people better. You can provide customer service, and everybody's happy. Build that culture. All right, the shopping rant is over. So we could probably go an hour on that.
I know. I can go forever. Okay. What do I want to talk about? I want to talk about relationships.
Ooh.
I think this is pretty good. And I kind of wanted to tie into the online thing because just I think nowadays I feel like it's really hard to date without using Tinder and applications like that.
Yeah.
And I feel like it gives you this weird environment for dating, and then
Absolutely.
it's super awkward.
So, what's your experience with whatever online dating that you have used or are using?
Well, it's kind of a shit show, honestly. It's so weird, even for a guy like me, which I guess I present pretty well on Tinder, so I get pretty good results. It's really superficial. That's my biggest problem with it.
It's a great way to describe it.
It's really
It's
superficial.
a perfect word.
Mm-hmm. You're not really trying to date the actual person. You're trying to date the representation of that
Their
person.
image.
Yeah. Their mask that they're putting on for online dating. I mean, and everyone has one.
Yeah.
So
For the most part, yeah, people have one. That's funny because, yeah, people should start posting pictures of themselves when they're not happy.
I think you were talking about the other day.
It's a clear representation. Yeah, because, exactly. I put a picture of me just not smiling. I'm like, I just don't give a shit. I'm not always smiling. I'm not always happy.
Yeah. Actually, I think I'm not smiling in most of my pictures.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just have a straight face. I mean, I don't look sad or angry or anything. It's just kind of, just like, like a posing face. You know what I mean? Like I'm taking a picture. I don't know. I don't smile for pictures. I don't know.
So that's your real face then?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I guess it's.
Are you always walking along the beach when the sun sets?
I don't think I have a beach with the sunset picture,
Yeah.
but what I would say though is it still is an optimized version of me, obviously, because I'm picking good angles, good lighting. You know what I mean? Making sure I don't have any weird
Best scenery.
facial muscle twitches going on or anything. You know what I mean? So it's the best.
Best
picture.
background.
Yeah, exactly. So
It's setting the stage. It's posing, is what it is.
Mm.
Pictures are posing, but
yeah.
it's amplified on Tinder. I totally agree. Yeah, it's been a night. I mean, I've used Tinder for a few months. For a guy like me, it's weird because I'm older. I have my shit together. I have goals, and I don't front. I mean, you know me, but people on Tinder don't know me, or anybody on any kind of digital media or social media. They don't know me, so it's easy to make that assumption of me that, oh, he's posing. And so I think what my problem is for those sites is I'm actually more interested in authentic and genuine good people. I'm not looking for, not to say, if there was someone that I had a great conversation with, and if all I wanted was, sex, and not saying that would be out of the question for me. I'm just saying that's not my prerogative.
Mm.
And so that's probably why a person like me has low results with that and doesn't really pursue too much. I don't beg for anything. I don't supplicate for anything. I don't chase anything or anybody. I am who I am, and I have standards, and so that's probably why I'm pretty unsuccessful with it. And so, yeah, for instance, the it's rough, it's brutal. You know what I mean? You gotta have that chiseled jaw, that nice sun glare. You gotta have this face on Tinder, or you have no fucking chance. And then if you don't have that, to make things worse, if you don't have a good mouthpiece. A good mouthpiece on typing. That's funny, right?
I was like, well, we already talked about the jaw. You have a good mouth too, but I realized you're talking about what you're saying.
Exactly, things come out of your mouth, but it's funny saying mouthpiece because you never hear them out of their mouth. It's just typing.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't have a clever one-liner or a pickup line, I had that response. Where I was like, oh, hey, how's it going? You know what I mean? How is the coronavirus life? And the response to that was like, wow, I was really expecting like a clever pickup line. I was like, get the fuck out of here. Sorry to disappoint you. Like, I'm not fake. I don't have a fucking fancy hook, line, and sink fucking, one-liner for you. So, sorry to disappoint. Off you go.
So I think the women, I think it's really streamlined this thought process that women can just kind of make it a competition for men, and it's kind of an unhealthy dynamic, I feel like.
Absolutely.
You're not really caring about what the man actually has to offer. You're caring more about how witty can you be, like, which I guess is a good indication of like your intelligence, if you can be witty. But that doesn't qualify or quantify how like caring of a person you are, how responsible you are.
There's more to people.
There's a lot more to you than just how witty you are.
Not only that, the pressure of getting that wit in a fucking small time frame.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That's just unrealistic, man.
Yeah. The worst is
that's a high expectation.
Some women will just have pictures of themselves, have like minimal or no bios, and then they'll expect you to give them a fucking pickup line, and they give you no information to go off of. Like, how are you supposed to come up with a fucking clever pickup line when your bio is blank? It's fucking stupid.
Yeah, it's expectations, and oh man, and you're right. That competition scenario that has been created, it's one that I stay away from. I don't compete with anybody. I treat it like my business. I do not compete with other businesses. I make that very clear when I talk to homeowners and contractors. I'm like, hey, we're the higher price company. If we're going to be part of a competition equation, we're not the right fit for you probably. If you're looking for high quality products, if you're looking for a certified installer, you're looking for good customer service, from a great contractor, you're just looking for all around good experience, we're the people for you. You can call us, we can continue this conversation. Mm-hmm. And I treat every relationship like that too, man. I'm just not going to compete. And that's another reason why I'm not successful, because it's just that unhealthy dynamic to create.
You know what's interesting is women do it to women.
Yeah.
I know. Obviously, my ex was on Tinder, and she's bisexual, so she had similar problems that I had with talking to women on Tinder. And also, this girl that I am friends with on Facebook too, that I matched with on Tinder, that didn't respond to me on Tinder, even though I know her in real life. She posted on her Facebook, she's like, "What's up with all these girls not responding on Tinder?" She's like, "Now I understand how the guys feel that I don't respond to." It's like that's karma, but
yeah.
But it is kind of interesting.
It's interesting. I mean, the girls that don't respond, I mean, you're better off not. I mean,
I'm not chasing girls that don't respond anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, you don't want to start off a relationship again.
Being needy.
Yes, being needy and chasing and supplicating and bending over. It's the worst way to start a relationship. It's just, you can expect that to just end badly and just have a miserable experience through the whole thing.
Yeah.
Till the end.
And I this is like a little superficial, but I get enough matches that I just don't give a shit if one particular match isn't that interested in me after like I send a pickup line. It's like, whatever, there's, I got like 70 other fucking matches. I just don't care.
Nice. Time to move on. Yeah, I'm the same way, dude. With I love relating it to business because it's so relative. Like, I don't have time to waste on you because I have like 20 other leads that are waiting for me that actually are willing to pay and move forward with me. And are serious to move forward. Same thing, man.
Yeah,
it's funny. Great way to. It's funny. No one thinks. A lot of people aren't in business, so they might not get that correlation. But I can guarantee you, business and relationships very similar. Very similar.
You're selling something in both situations.
You're selling an idea. You're selling an image. You're selling. Period. You're trying to convince somebody of your idea or yourself or what you're capable of and what you provide.
Yeah, you're just trying to convince someone to believe in you and invest into you.
Yeah.
Either money or time or.
What's funny is if you're phony, if you're phony, you're gonna be exposed over time. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That's another reason to just be as authentic as you can.
Yeah, I have a hard time trying to talk to girls right now because I just don't know what to fucking talk to them about. Because before I'd be like, yeah, I'm going to college, you know, I go out, I socialize, and all this. Now it's like, what are you doing? Oh, I'm playing video games. It's like,
make something up.
Yeah, let's make something up.
I work out every day.
I used to work out 4 times a fucking week, so I had like a lot of positive things that I could tell women that I was doing, and now it's just like, well, you know, I guess everyone's doing it, so, but it's hard to stick out when you're like everyone else, you know what I mean? Where before, you know, I was sticking out a little bit. So.
Yeah, but I think worried about sticking out is kind of falling into that trap of like caring too much of what people think. You know what I mean? Like you want to stick out authentically, because if you are, first of all, being authentic is sticking out. I can guarantee you that you're gonna. I mean, people don't notice that over social media, which is the bad part.
Yeah.
That's more an in-person thing. I have a much better impact with people talking to them one-on-one as opposed to them actually following my social media, because they have no idea how I articulate things, how I view things, and how I, you know, just have a meaningful conversation with people. And so that's the problem with social media. You just make so many assumptions off of face value stuff, superficial stuff, like you said.
Yeah.
It's frustrating. But again, you get to that point where you're just like, fuck it. I got goals, I got things I need to do. I'm not going to waste time on this. Ultimately, you don't want to waste any time. Time is valuable.
Yeah.
But, yeah, relationships. Interesting.
Yeah, we go on that topic for an hour as well. But
these are topics we'll have to just revisit.
We'll revisit them angles. Yeah, exactly, from different perspectives.
Especially when, you know, people chime in with questions and things like that. And, you know, that's a great way to kind of carry that conversation and get a different point of view. So, but yeah,
yep.
What's okay? So yeah, you got relationships. Let's see. Maybe I'll throw something at you. I forgot to get that. So, actually, I'll go snag that here when that comes. But okay, this is something I want to talk about. Vegans.
I'll talk about vegans.
A little bit, yeah.
Not biased at all.
Yeah. So it's funny because I'm actually gonna kind of level with vegans and kind of shed some light on it and my perspective. So, and it's funny because I brought this up to Brando one time. I had this conversation.
Lynn?
Yeah. I was trying not to say his last name.
Sorry. We know too many people named Brandon, so I have to figure out who the
Brando. There's only one of those. Sorry, dude.
Not anonymous anymore.
Yeah, but no, we were talking, and I was talking to him about how, you know, as hardcore of as a vegan as I'd like to think I am, or anybody else is, ultimately we eat plants, right? Mm. Bugs eat plants. There's no way, and I had this thought because when I bought blackberry or Marion berries, like, you know, like 4, what do you call those, crates or whatever of them.
Those are bomb.
I had a ton, they're so good. I had a ton of them in the freezer, right?
Mm. And
I was eating a bunch of them, and then I seen something moving on there. I'm looking at it. It was a little tiny worm, and I was like, oh no, I wonder how many of those I ate. And I was like, that's technically not vegan.
Mm.
So bugs, you can be the most hardcore vegan out there, you're gonna eat a bug. You're gonna eat bugs no matter what.
No matter what.
So if we're classifying bugs in that category as vegan or plant-based,
well, I think it's not plant-based, but the thing is veganism is more of a philosophy. So
yeah.
So if you think about it that way, it's being vegan is doing the best you can to reduce your footprint on animal consumption. So in that vein, then yeah, it's still vegan if you accidentally eat some bugs.
Yeah. I mean, it's really hard to avoid.
I mean, if you're like finding a bunch of dead bugs and then eating them, that's not vegan. But I mean,
you're just like
accidentally having a bug on your lettuce or whatever isn't the end of the fucking world.
Yeah. No, I mean, it bothers me. I don't like eating bugs.
I mean, I don't like knowing that I ate bugs. I could blissfully never know that I ate a bug and be perfectly happy with that. I know what happens, I just don't want to fucking know about it.
So yeah, as far as veganism though being a concept and an idea that you follow as far as trying to make a good impact or the least amount of negative footprint through eating meat and animal products. I get that. What's funny is I've gotten trained to refer to that as vegans or veganism because in general, that's how people refer to people who eat just plants. And so like if I'm having a conversation with another vegan or a group of vegans, I start talking about plant-based, whole food, plant-based more because they understand the difference.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I initially already started thinking veganism because the majority of people can relate to that. If I started saying plant-based, I don't think they'd understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, so for you guys, no. I'm more plant-based and Ben's more vegan. So I mean, it's not that I don't care about animals. It's just a lot of effort and a lot of mental effort more than anything. It's not really that much effort, but it's just like thinking everything that I'm buying and making sure that it doesn't have any animal products is a lot of mental efforts, and sometimes I just don't want to do it, you know. So, and that's a fault of my own. But obviously, you're a little bit more strong mentally in that.
Well, it's funny. It's a weird concept because vegans also can be referred to as you can be a lazy plant-based eater in the vegan category. Actually,
That's good.
Plant-based is kind of referred to as more sophisticated, really, because you get the whole foods aspect.
Well, no, see, there you're differentiating. There's still plant-based, and then there's whole food plant-based.
Okay. Oh, got it. So there's 3 categories essentially. What we're talking about here.
Well, it's like those are like subcategories of plant-based. You know what I mean?
Okay. Because I'd like to consider like on a percentage. I think my diet is mainly plant-based, a little bit of mainly whole foods. I'd rather meant to say.
Yeah.
Mainly whole foods, definitely plant-based, and then the vegan aspect of it is the few processed foods I eat, like the seitan and things like that, which is probably 20% of my diet.
Yeah, I don't think I wouldn't classify seitan as being processed.
Oh, really?
No, it's like minimally processed. Like if you're gonna do that, then don't eat tofu. You know what I mean? Like that doesn't count. I would say
tofu's good when
like,
it's done right.
If you're gonna get like a day of pizza from the frozen pizza section, though, that's definitely processed. Okay.
I tried one of those one time.
They're not bad. They're not healthy, but they're not bad tasting. You know what I mean? They taste pretty alright.
Homemade pizza is where it's at.
I was actually gonna bring that to you. We should make a pizza sometime soon.
Yes.
I was gonna when we made enchiladas this last week. I was like, dude, we should make some.
We should.
Some pizza.
I remember we did that. Me and my ex-girlfriend, we got down on it. That's probably the best pizza I've had, and I vividly remember it. that was like 3 years ago, man.
What toppings would you put on it?
We stacked that one, so I'd probably do the same thing. I mean, cashews, pineapple, jalapenos, spinach. Oh boy, the processed cheese. Just gotta get that cheese on there.
Got it. See, I don't even care about it.
I don't care about it either, but it just kind of did make it a little bit better. I don't know why. I can do without it too. I love
my new favorite topping on a pizza, or like additional topping that I didn't used to eat, is artichokes.
Oh yeah.
They just add like a nice texture to it.
Yeah. One of the ones I have a hard time with is sweet potatoes, yams.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes it's good, but 8 times out of 10, it's weird on pizza.
Yeah.
It doesn't have a good flavor for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe if you seasoned it right, could be like if you like fried it up beforehand and then put it on the pizza.
Yeah.
Put some good seasonings on it, then maybe that could work. But like just a raw, or not raw, but like boiled or whatever, like sweet potato probably wouldn't be very good on a fucking pizza.
I think a lot of it for me is the texture. It's just soft. So if I just had a pizza, it was just nothing but mush.
Yeah.
I like the little bit of crunch, some onions maybe, and that's why I like cashews. Cashews just fucking give that pizza a nice little crunch.
I don't know if I'd like that hard of a crunch on it, but I mean, I don't know if I would hate it either. I used to be a little bit more particular about texture, but I'm not really that concerned about it anymore.
Nice. I love me some. Even when all I have is like a dish, it's just like soft foods and mushy foods. I like to just like throw some chips on it or something just to get that crunch in there. Or French fried onions. I did that the other day. That was really good.
Yeah, you love the crunch, huh?
Heck yeah. It's just the crunch and the
contrast.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. Maybe it's just more exciting.
I guess.
My mouth gets more excited.
I just care about the taste mostly nowadays, which I guess isn't totally true. Texture definitely matters.
Yeah.
So, but I've had like when I went to that 5-star restaurant in Seattle
Yeah.
that I took that girl on a date with, they had like this
Name drop it. What's the name of it?
Oh, Harvest Beat.
Harvest Beat.
It's a very, very good restaurant in Seattle, but you have to make reservations, and it's like $80 a person or something like that.
Now we're promoting for you, Harvest Beat.
Yes.
Get at us.
Very good stuff. Loved it. But they had this like pate, so it's basically just like
I've heard of that before. What is that again?
it looks like cat food. It's just like a soft. It's just like a soft. I don't know how to explain it. It's just a mass. You know,
It
it's
sounds
like
so elegant, like caviar.
yeah, but yeah,
Which
it's
is
called
disgusting.
a pate. But it was fucking delicious. But it was
Mm.
funny because they just basically just served that. I mean, it was part of a dish, so I think maybe they did have something crunchy with it. I think they did have like some chips or something to go with it, but
Nice. Yeah, I feel like it sounds like a very nice establishment.
it is very nice. They, like I was telling you before, when you come in, they take you into the kitchen and they tell you the whole meal plan and like where they got all the ingredients and like they tell you about their passion for it.
Yeah, I remember you telling me about that. It's really cool. That's unique.
Mm-hmm.
That sets them apart from other restaurants too.
Yeah, and as you're like sitting at the tables are all kind of, I guess it doesn't really, they're not all above, but a lot of them are above, but you can see directly into the kitchen, so they're all kind of like wrapped around the kitchen, and you can
Nice.
see, there's like no walls basically, or they're like half walls, so
Right
you can
on.
see them making the food and
How
stuff.
cruel of a joke would that be to just all of a sudden they pull out like a fish and just fucking chop its head out? Oh my god, that'd be devastating.
People would be like, what?
We're sitting here making jokes, we're vegans, but yeah, that would be cruel and funny and odd. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely not funny to kill things like that, but
I mean, it
it'd be
already
a cruel,
at that
sick
point.
joke. But again, I find humor in dark. I like dark humor.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just because I'm a vegan or plant-based or whole foods eater doesn't mean I can't, find humor in that. I find humor in weird things, racism. Some people don't, but I try to make, and this doesn't go for me, like, objectifying anybody. I find humor in my own defects and my own insecurities and things like that. I don't discriminate against myself. That's what's funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can mark that off the list of vegans and
Vegan
the bugs.
Coronavirus shopping, you got that on
Interesting little topic there.
there. You want to talk about, dude, okay, so that band, those bands that dude was telling us to listen to.
Death Priest.
Death
Where you
Priest.
at, dude?
Yeah,
Death Priest.
yeah.
Come on, bro.
Come back on the stream.
You hit us with some stuff to look into and
Well-
you just disappear on us.
What was that second band that you told me? It was, starts with an M.
Massive Attack.
Right, Mass Attack, they had that song. What's that song you told me? Was it Remedy?
Teardrop.
Teardrop, that's what it's called. Dude, what is that song from? It's like a theme song for like ER or some weird shit, right?
Probably.
It's so familiar.
You probably heard it on my job site because I've listened to that song quite a bit on my job site. It's funny because when I heard it, I was like, I know this song very well.
Wow, that's fine. I know I've heard it like
Somewhere
it's like
else.
the intro to a TV show.
Okay.
And I feel like it's like a hospital show, like
Interesting.
House or something. It's not House, I don't think, but it's like one of those type of shows. I feel like
Okay.
it's like the theme song.
It's probably a show that I have never watched because I would remember that. I have a good ear for that type of shit too, and I have a feeling that when I have seen something, I've seen that, or I've heard this somewhere.
Dude, I heard that it's like piano, right, or something. It's like strings at the intro.
And honestly, I can't remember it right
Can't
now
remember.
off the top of my head, but when it's playing, I'm just like, oh, it clicks.
The second it's like an earworm, man. It just got stuck in my head. It's still stuck
It's
in my
a
head.
good
I'm
song,
like,
though.
where the fuck is that song from?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is a good song though. I just remember something I listened to quite a bit because I'll just set it on, Future Primitive or Blank & Jones, that type of. It's all kind of relative, and then that will come on quite a bit.
Yeah, I mean that's my vibe. I love that.
Heck yeah,
That
that was a
feel
good
of music.
recommendation, dude.
What was the other one? The other one was
Portishead.
Portishead. That one was pretty cool.
What about that song? You recognize that song?
Dummy Head
Yes.
or Dummy or whatever. No, I don't.
Oh, you don't?
Where do you recognize that from?
I don't remember. I've heard it quite a bit.
I've never heard that before, and it was pretty cool. It's interesting. It has the elements of like chill electronic music, but then it has like the DJ scratchy kind of sounds from like,
Yeah.
I think people were saying it's like 20 years old or 25 years old, so it has like that kind of 90s kind of sound.
It's got the female vocals over all of it too.
Yeah,
Love that.
that's my favorite.
Heck yeah. Now when I heard it, I was like, oh my god, I've heard this song a bazillion times too.
Yeah, so we'll have to check out some of his other recommendations.
Probably pretty good.
They sounded obscure, but like it's actually good stuff. So well, he said some of the other things were a little bit more obscure. So I guess we'll see if they're
All
any
right.
good. But those were some good recommendations. I
Yeah,
really
so
liked
that was our review, man. Excellent choices on Massive Attack and Portishead. And when we get a chance, we'll try to review some of those other ones as well. Because, yeah, I enjoy that type of music. That was really cool. But, yeah, that's what it was. What else we got here from May? Oh, we won't talk about it too much. Finally gave in to Home Advisor. Been calling me for about 2 years. And, yeah, I'm going to give it a shot. We'll see what happens. I'll give you a review on that later. Let you know if
Home
they're
Advisor.
shit.
What's Home Advisor?
Home Advisor is a contracting app. They promote heavily. So they get a bunch of general type contractors and a bunch of leads and give you leads.
Okay.
You got to pay for the leads.
Okay.
Usually they're like a year subscription and all that. You pay per lead as you get it. But yeah, I just been avoiding it, and I've just been pretty successful doing other stuff, but I'm trying to expand. I'm trying to be more successful, and thought I'd give it a shot. It's probably a good time to give them a test run and see how if it's effective, or if it produces some results for my company. And I'll give you guys a review in a month on that one.
Yeah.
Let you know my take on Home Advisor.
Hope that works out.
Little snakes.
You call them little snakes.
Little snakes that I'm in bed with now.
Want to talk about the fight?
Yeah, let's get that dude. Yes,
Dude,
That's
that
a lot
fight
of my
was
notes.
That's
that's most of my notes.
wow,
man.
dude.
'Cause that was such a good fight. So yeah, we reviewed Tony Ferguson versus Justin Gaethje. Okay, Gaethje.
Yeah, it's like Gaethje, like for some reason it's pronounced. Everyone pronounces it that way, so I'm guessing that's how it's pronounced, but it's not
Okay.
spelled that
The
way.
T
at
and
all.
H is silent.
Yeah, and the J is pronounced with like a ch sound.
Oh, Gaethje. Okay, we're
At least-
probably wrong. Hopefully somebody corrects us.
Yeah, correct us if we're wrong, but I swear,
Please correct
I could
us.
be hearing the announcers incorrectly, but that sounds like how they're saying it.
Yeah.
So
It totally sounds like that. Very excellent fight, though, man. So many on both sides by both fighters. Very excellent. They both had. I mean, this was just a stand-up game, as they call it in UFC. They stood and banged.
Dude, that fight was intense. So Tony took a fucking beating.
Oh god, I feel bad for the poor guy.
That was intense.
He
I
took,
don't
he took-
understand. He just did not
took-
protect his face very well at all.
He took so much punishment to the face, and the sad thing about it was you can see the man have heart.
Mm.
He just did not want to give it up, dude.
Yeah,
that was rough.
Majority of people would have fallen way earlier. He went almost 5 rounds.
He would have went until he was fucking blind, man.
Yeah.
I mean, that was intense.
He could have like died for real.
Oh, absolutely. That was a great call by Herb Dean, man. He took it to the limit before he actually called that fight.
I don't know if you've seen that in there because you watched like it was a condensed version or whatever, right?
Mhm.
But there was part of where they were talking about how Justin Gaethje's coaches were telling him to like take some of the power off the punches. They're like, dude, you're like swinging for the fence.
Oh, yeah,
Like you're
I
gonna
heard
murder
that.
that guy.
Yeah, save some of your, and not only that, I was really impressed with that with Justin's coaching in his corner. The guy was giving him some solid advice, even in the later round,
Yeah.
as Justin was dominating, with lands, the punches he's landed.
Mhm.
He was telling him, he was reminding of the time he lost. He said, last time you were in the lead, you got comfortable and you lost.
That's good shit.
That for me would sink in and like turn it up, make sure, okay, do not relax, do not get comfortable. Anything could happen. This is a fucking fight. Kind of like we seen with that one fight with those two girls. Remember that one girl was dominating her,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden she slammed, KO'd her or something like that.
Yeah, Rose. I can't pronounce her last
Same
name.
type of shit. It's a
Yeah.
great example of how anything could happen, man.
Mhm.
I mean, overall, that other girl was dominating that fight and won by lands, but it just takes one good time
Yeah.
and one slip.
Yeah. I'm really surprised Tony Ferguson didn't get knocked out.
Me too. I mean, he got wobbly, dude, but
Yeah.
god damn.
That last punch, you see where he was like shaking his head? That was
his feet, yeah.
that
Oh,
was
yeah.
scary, dude. Like I was legit scared from him. I was like, oh shit, dude.
Seriously.
I'm about to watch this guy die. What's gonna
Yeah, I mean, straight up, dude. He got punched in the temple quite a bit too, you know, and that's a lot of those. I think that was the punch actually got right on the left side of the temple, man.
Mhm.
Just made his legs wobble from
Yeah.
under him. Yeah, very scary. What's funny is Tony Ferguson landed some excellent. I'm really impressed with Tony Ferguson's moves. That motherfucker, dude. You remember that like Mortal Kombat sweep he did?
Yeah.
Holy shit, I've never seen that ever done.
Dude, he did that so fast too.
It was like textbook Mortal Kombat.
Dude.
Not only that, speaking of Mortal Kombat, the time where they both went for the uppercut, like straight Mortal Kombat style.
Oh, did they?
Oh yeah, at
Oh,
the same
right.
time, dude. They both landed it. And I think Tony Ferguson's landed the most. It connected straight
Was that the one that was at
up
the end of
uppercut,
like the
dude.
second round?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That uppercut was solid. And kudos to Justin for taking those kind of punches too, man. Because those are, I mean, especially that one. That was the hardest uppercut I've ever seen land like that.
Yeah. Tony Ferguson has such an interesting fighting style, though.
Mm-hmm.
Like you were saying.
That was actually the first fight I've ever seen him fight in.
Oh,
So
really?
I was
You
pretty
should watch.
impressed with that.
Yeah, you should watch another one of the ones where he doesn't get dominated so hard because he usually is the one being. I don't think he. That was like his first loss in like 8 years or something.
I heard, yeah. Which
Yeah.
explains why he was having a hard time letting go.
Yeah.
Like why his willpower was at all time fucking higher than that, man.
Yeah, I mean he's a champion, so
Oh, he definitely displayed that. Even though he lost, I mean, that dude was a champion, and he definitely has a heart of gold.
yeah.
So hats off to that, man. Hats off to both of them. They both put on a really good performance, man.
Yeah, but you should see some of his other fights because it give you kind of more perspective on that one. Because that dude does some of the most unorthodox moves you'll ever see.
I noticed that, man. The
He does.
sweep really impressed me.
He has that weird kind of like lurking kind of
Yeah.
movement, but he switched from southpaw to standard and back
Okay.
and forth, and it's like it's really weird.
I can't get over that sweep, dude. It was
Yeah.
it
Oh, yeah, I
knocked
forgot
Justin
about
right
that.
on his ass, dude.
Dude, what I was thinking about that is you have to have your shins so conditioned to do that. Because if I did that to someone, I'd be like, I'm done, dude. My fucking shin hurts like a motherfucker, dude. Even if I was successful.
The reason it was so successful too is because he did a follow through. He did a all the way around almost. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
He didn't like stop halfway. He followed through with that, and that just head over heel of Justin. I was like, holy shit, dude.
Dude, yeah, that was fast.
It was impressive, man. So yeah, nonetheless, the fact that he lost, I was highly impressed with his performance through that. I mean, and I'm impressed with the fact that he could take so much punishment to the face and still go. That was a skill in itself too. Not I wouldn't recommend that to anybody, but good
Yeah.
lord,
Yeah, just block the punches with your face.
just block. Or evade. You know what's funny is he would have been way more successful if he just bobbed and weaved.
Mhm.
If he would have bobbed and weaved much like Tyson did during his successful days. That was really what set apart Tyson. He was always bobbing and weaving, and then he'd come up with the right hook and the left hook.
Yeah.
And he was just standing there and was just taking them, dude. Like, all he had to do was more head movement.
Well, people were saying the problem was because that fight was supposed to be between Tony Ferguson and Khabib.
Oh, okay.
So he trained for Khabib, and then
Oh.
Khabib couldn't get over from Russia because of like the coronavirus or whatever. So then they switched to Justin Gaethje, which Khabib is, he's a grappler, and
Yeah.
then Justin Gaethje is a straight up boxer. So,
Yeah.
so that's completely different styles. So I don't think he was really prepared for that.
That's interesting. I didn't catch that before that. I didn't know that insight.
But people are losing their mind with that because I think Tony Ferguson and Khabib have supposed to have fought like at least 3 times or more than that, and it keeps getting canceled. And they're supposed to be fighting for the championship, and then Tony Ferguson lost the belt.
Oh man.
So now people are like, yeah, now it's definitely not happening.
That sucks, man.
Which is
Yeah, Khabib bothers me. He's got such a boring fighting style, and yes, I know he's successful and effective, and it's working for him. But from an entertainment point of view, because that's what UFC is, that's what MMA is, the majority of it.
Yeah.
It's to be entertaining as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's just boring, man. I mean, he just pins dudes down and gets on their backside and just keeps pushing them down,
Pushing him into the corner.
pushing them in the corner, kneeing them, punching them, and this off. And it's really hard to defend that, you know. And I can see why he keeps rolling with it, but
Mm-hmm.
I would if challenge yourself. I'm always I encourage people to challenge themselves, and when I see that, it's like stop sticking to what you know, and even if it's effective. And I mean, I don't know. It's kind of I'm torn on that.
Dude, isn't
It's
Khabib
working.
like 30-0 though?
Is he? That's what I'm saying. It's effective, so it's hard for me to tell somebody like, hey, stop doing what's working for you.
You're just like you're inconveniencing my
entertaining.
boredom right
Yeah.
now. So you're making me very bored. So stop being so fucking boring. Even if it makes you lose.
He's not. What is the problem with him? He's not good for UFC because he's not entertaining.
Yeah, it depends on how you look at it. So he's good. He's good for competition, but I guess you're talking about for being on TV and
Yeah,
yeah.
because it's all about crowd.
That's why McGregor is the most famous fighter, is because it's not even just his fighting. I mean, he does have a cool fighting style. It's not the coolest. I think Tony Ferguson is cooler because he's very unorthodox. Like,
Yeah.
talk about how Conor McGregor is unorthodox. Tony Ferguson is way more unorthodox.
Oh, absolutely.
But Conor McGregor just talks, man. He's so fucking entertaining. He's
Yeah.
like, even if you hate him, he's still entertaining.
He gets reactions out of the crowd, and that's part of entertainment.
Yeah, he treats it like it's like wrestling. So he
Yeah.
has that whole hype game.
Soap opera
Shit.
vibe to
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
The drama.
He can back it up most of the time. You know, I mean, obviously he's lost a few times, but
That's why, you know, I love UFC, but it has become a mixture of now you have to be entertaining and you have to be good on with your skill as well. And it's like that's the total package for UFC, I think.
well, I think that's everything nowadays. Any career that you want,
entertainment.
yeah, well, almost any career though. You got to have people skills. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. For people's skills, yeah, you got it.
In any job. So I don't know. Even if you're gonna be a scientist, if you're a scientist and you don't have people skills, you're gonna be less successful than the other scientist that does have people skills, because they're gonna be able to network better and get better jobs anyway. Just because
Yeah.
people are gonna like them more.
Mm-hmm.
So unless you're like a fucking super genius, you're like Albert Einstein, who they said might have been autistic.
Bob
So-
Lazar.
Yeah, so they're like silent, but they're like so fucking smart. They're like, all right, you can just kind of go work in your corner. But those type of people, that usually the type of people that work by themselves anyway, so they don't even give a shit.
Yeah, no, that's right up their alley.
Yeah, and you're like, all right, we'll just let you do your thing over there. We're gonna go work as a team over here. You know, Let's
That's
not be
where
freaks of
you
that.
shine and you're productive. So just stay in your little corner.
I guess
over
it
there.
is knowing your strengths, though.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Again, back to Khabib. I mean, much respect to him because he's doing what works. But I would challenge him. I would encourage him to challenge himself.
He
a
doesn't
lot
seem
more.
like the type of person that cares about how big he is publicly. At least not as much as like McGregor, obviously.
Yeah.
I think he cares more about just being like a champion, like winning. I think he just cares about that the most.
Yeah.
Because I think if he wanted
Yes.
a flashier side,
It's
he
very
would. So I
clear.
think, you know what I mean. He just cares about winning. So I don't think he gives a shit. I don't think he's gonna change it up. Because why would he? He's like 30-0. Like
Yeah. That's like Mayweather. Oh. That was
Mayweather went like 50-0 or something.
That was one of the things I noticed in that fight. There was a moment where during the mid-fight, Justin went for some dabs from Tony, and Tony didn't dab him, and he was like, what the fuck, dude?
Mhm.
Like all upset, like mid-fight.
Yeah.
And like when I see that, I'm like, that's a bad idea. I think there's a time and place for the dapping and the respect.
Mm.
It's before and after the fight.
Speaking of
Reason
which,
for that is
Oh.
because let's refer to the Mayweather and Ortiz fight. Have you ever seen that?
no, but did he sucker punch him?
I call it a sucker punch. Yes, mid-fight, they hugged,
Mm.
and then literally as they broke, Mayweather fucking punched him, hit him with a 2-piece that not the TKO'd him.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people in UFC too. They'll come up, they'll touch gloves, and immediately throw a punch. Like it's like almost a distraction. You're like, you know what I mean? Just throw a punch immediately afterwards.
Yeah.
Or like almost at the same time as you're doing that.
And then it was so fucked up. And then Mayweather was like, yeah, his response to that, he was just like, it's funny. He was so disrespectful to the commentator also. But he was just like, you know, you're just boxing, you got to protect yourself at all times, you know what I mean? When you see the recap, it was just like literally as they were hugging, like they were both mutually hugging. Like as he broke up, just like bam! And it was just like totally blindsided him, dude.
Wow.
And he took it right to the face, like the impact was just undeniable. But
how do you feel? Did it show that on the fight that you watched? Tony Ferguson at the end after he got called off. You see him where Justin Gaethje comes up and tries to like hug him or like pat his back or something.
Yeah, and he didn't get him.
And Tony Ferguson was like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
I can understand he was upset because he won for 8 years. And
that's why I knew when I seen that too. I was like, man, that man is his willpower has been devastated because he put a lot into that fight. He just didn't want it to end. And in his mind, he thought he could still win.
Yeah.
Even till it got, called.
I think Justin Gaethje has a really good record too. I think he's only lost like 1 or 2 fights or something.
Yeah,
like,
I can tell, man. That dude had a really good stand-up game.
Yeah. Also,
he reminds me of Justin Poirier. Very good stand-up game.
I know that name. I just haven't really seen him. But
similar.
What I like about Justin Gaethje though is he's like a really stand-up dude. I don't know if you like heard him talking or anything after or anything.
No.
Like, he's like a really nice guy. Like all the times the respectful thing. He's
I can tell, he's immediately shown respect. So I got that vibe. You can tell a lot about people in a fight.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because a fight exposes you for your true.
You're under a stressful situation, so it shows your true colors.
Exactly. And just like life, when you're in a real tough spot, man, or especially when someone pisses you off, you see how people are in their worst moments.
Mm-hmm.
It's easy to see people in their best moments more times than it is their worst moments.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's interesting. Let's see, I talked about that. I already talked about that, where they connected with that.
I should have rewatched this fight. I didn't realize you were going to take so many notes.
Yeah, Justin Gaethje also threw a punch that was like off balance. I forgot about that. It was like right in the beginning. He like fell, but he connected.
Really?
Right in his face. It was like a half Superman punch type.
You ever notice that Tony Ferguson does that all the time? You notice he does those weird like lurching punches?
Yeah.
Those are fucking.
Those are surprising type punches because you're like you don't know what to. You're not getting that kinetic energy to punch, and people expect that kind of punch.
Yeah. So
when you surprise them with them jabs, man, yeah, Justin's jabs were quick, dude.
Dude, that dude punches hard. Fuck, dude.
And he had some quick jabs too. They were exactly that power behind him. Just like, oh god.
Yeah, that dude's a beast.
But yeah, let's see here. We talked about that one. Yeah, because again, Gaethje took some shots, man. He took some real shots. If you recap that again, he took some shit that would knock a person out. That uppercut should have knocked him out, dude.
I think
it hit him in the chin, and he popped his head back literally about that far.
Yeah. Well, I think the round ended right as he got punched, so it was pretty close. Like, who knows what would have happened if it kept going.
That's true. So kudos to Justin for taking that punch with elegance, man. That was crazy because he did.
They're both fucking savages, dude. I mean, obviously Tony Ferguson like took a fucking beating, but like most people could not take that beating either. So like that's just savage in its own.
Yeah, it was the overhand rights, dude. I noticed Gaethje had a lot of connected overhand rights. They were just like, that's where it came from every time. I mean, he had a good left-right combo. Some lefts were connecting, but the damage came from the overhand rights. I mean, Tony Ferguson got nailed in the temple, that overhand right, so many times.
Dude, his face was so fucked up after the fight.
Yeah, so the front was the jabs, and then the punching power came from the overhand rights, man. That really
like not even recognize him after the fight was over. Dude.
God.
His face was
I know. I seen a post of him on Facebook or something like that, and he's just smiling in the hospital. You couldn't even see his eyes and whatever. It's just like, oh my god, I've seen that before. I've seen the fight.
Yeah, his coach said that he was still in good spirits. So that dude's a savage, dude. Because if I was in the hospital after that, I'd be like, never again.
I mean, even during that, like, you know, towards the later rounds, his face was already pulped up.
Mhm.
He was like, he got punched and he was just like calling him on. I was like, oh god, dude.
He's a beast, man. It's fucking crazy, dude. No, I mean, I get punched one time. I'm like, I'm either like, I'm gonna
Fetal
beat your
position.
ass, or I'm like, we're done. Please stop.
Oh my god. Yeah, good call for on Herb Dean though to call that. And
I
honestly,
almost want to say you might want to stop it earlier.
maybe,
almost.
dude. But definitely, it couldn't have got any further than
No.
that moment.
That punch was like the final punch, and good on Justin Gaethje for after that, because he was like wobbling, and Justin Gaethje did throw like another punch or two, but he threw like kind of weak ones, you know, like just kind of testing him, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
And Herb Dean's like, nah, dude, this is done,
yeah.
because he was just like,
It was
he was, there's no way he's gonna be able to keep defending himself after that. That like totally dazed him and fucked him up. I was really worried for his brain, man. I was like, dude, his brain must be fucked up from that.
Absolutely. It's worse than boxing, probably. A little more padding. I mean, you're still racking the brain,
Mm-hmm.
getting that whiplash effect with your brain
Getting punched by
bouncing in your
getting
brain, in your
punched
skull.
by that guy too, dude. That many times.
Hey. Yeah, no, I don't want to get punched in the face that many times. Nobody likes getting punched in the face.
I get so fucking mad when I get hit in the face, even not even like punched in the face. If something hits me
Yeah.
on accident in the face, I get fucking. I go into like rage mode in my head. It's so fucking annoying. So
I think a lot of people are like that,
at
probably.
least most men, probably.
It's just the difference between how fast you control that, you know what I mean, and whether you let it take control.
your
of it.
reaction.
Yeah, that's what kind of separates.
I've gotten hit a few times on accident in the fucking face, and I always get mad, and then people are like, "You're right." I'm like, just leave me alone for a few minutes. just don't fucking talk to me, because I'm fucking irrationally mad right now. And I know it's irrational, but I can't turn it off right now.
I don't want to take it out on you. Just leave me alone, please.
Yeah.
We'll revisit this conversation in a little bit.
Yeah, there was one time I was sleeping in the truck with you, and my guitar was like sitting like this or something, right?
Oh,
And I was like, then the fucking, you like turn the corner, and the guitar comes and smacks me in the fucking face. And that's what I woke up to, and I was like, fucking woke up, and I was just like, what the fuck?
What the fuck, dude? Oh.
So I realized it was my guitar, and you're just driving. You didn't even like notice, you're just driving. I was like, all right. But obviously, I couldn't go back to sleep. I was just sitting there fucking pissed, but there was no reason for me to be pissed. It was
I
just,
vaguely remember that too. This
Do
is
you?
probably years ago, yeah. I vaguely remember that. Because you told me, you're like, I just got hit in the fucking face. You definitely had poopy pants after that, too.
it was fine. I'm sure it was fine after a little bit. Yeah, but yeah, it just fucking pisses me off. But nothing I can do about it.
That is hilarious, man. Yeah, I mean, we pretty much. A lot of that conversation was Tony Ferguson and Justin Gaethje base, but there was a lot to talk about. That was a good fight, man. I really was impressed with that performance on both sides and how it ended. So
I'm glad you watched it. I didn't know if you've seen that interested in it beforehand, but it seems like you really liked it now. So after watching it, so
yeah, I mean, I'm ultimately a veteran UFC viewer. I mean, I used to back in the Hoist Gracie days and Shamrock and Frank Shamrock and big time UFC guy. I've only not been into it because I'm so busy, really. And so now I'm just, all I do is kind of recap fights and check things out, and I'm kind of out of touch with the current fighters. But ultimately, I love MMA. Pride fighting was huge for me. You know, I just love watching like Igor Vovchanchyn. He was a good dude to watch. Vanderlei Silva. From obviously he's been in UFC a few times. Dan Henderson, Fedor Emelianenko. Pride was really a little more entertaining for me because they're a little more. It's not crowd reactive based. It really is skill based. I mean, when they fight in the Pride fighting championship, it's so quiet when they're fighting. You hear a fucking pin drop.
Dude,
they're so respectful there, the crowd.
That I was about to just ask for that. How did you feel about there not being a crowd for that Tony Ferguson Justin Gaethje fight?
I didn't even notice.
You didn't?
Didn't even notice.
So I immediately noticed it because you could hear all the punches and they were like loud as fuck. You know what I mean? It's like usually the crowd's usually drowning it out. You know what I mean? And so I really liked that fight. First of all, because it was an amazing fight. If there was a crowd, the crowd would have been loud as fuck during that fight. But
and the fight probably would have been different.
Think so?
Yeah,
it's hard
it
to
plays
know.
a factor, I think.
Yeah,
it plays a factor, man. That's interesting. I didn't even notice. I wasn't even focused on the outside of the cage.
The reason I noticed immediately was just because you can't usually hear the punches that loudly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you could just hear the skin smacking on skin. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And it's just
Made it much more brutal.
Yeah.
I didn't even notice that. That's interesting.
It really made it more real of how hard they were punching. So I was like, holy shit, dude.
Yeah. Oh, you're right. I did. There was a couple times, but I didn't do the math. That the reason it was so loud was because there was no crowd drowning out the sound.
Yeah. Also, Joe Rogan. Every time, dude, just in case you punch Tony Ferguson, Joe Rogan would be like, "Oh my goodness."
Yeah.
You know how many times he said that during the fight? But he said it like 5 fucking times. It was so fun.
He did say that.
They were appropriate times to say it.
Oh, absolutely, man.
He probably couldn't think of anything because he was just like, "Holy shit!" That's basically what he was saying.
That was his go-to line, man. Just, oh my god, oh my goodness. Yeah, no, it was intense, man.
I felt bad for Tony, man. It's hard to watch. I mean, it was fun to watch, but it was also really hard to watch.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's a great way to say it. Fun and entertaining, but oh man, it was really tough to watch someone get beaten like that. Good stuff.
What else you got?
Man, as far as stuff I got, let's see, we already went over that. You know, the other thing I did want to kind of go over was I forgot to grab my book, but I wanted to kind of give show a little respect to one of my, what I call social media mentors.
Okay.
There's a few of them I pay attention to and have for a couple years straight now. You know, a lot of them are Grant Cardone, David Goggins, Dan Pena, Gary Vaynerchuk. A lot of you have probably heard of these people. Another one, though, amongst them was this guy named Stefan Aarnio. Some people might not know him. He had a podcast called Respect the Grind. He's a real estate. He was into real estate. Started out doing, teaching guitar lessons, and then in his 20s became a very successful real estate guy. But he had really good advice, and I didn't agree with everything he said, but 80% of his stuff was true, and I got value from it, from his content and the messages he always provided. But I just wanted to say he just died like a week ago or something like that, and that was actually pretty sad for me to see that.
I didn't realize it was that soon, recently.
Yeah.
Recent.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't even know. It was just a post on Facebook that said, to all those who didn't know, Stefan Aarnio died last night, and I was like, no way.
Wait, did he get a heart attack or something?
He had cancer.
Oh.
And what's funny is I can't give the proper review and backstory of him until I read his book, which I'm probably just going to run down and grab and show, because I think eventually we're going to I would like to, like you said, review some books chapter by chapter.
Okay.
I think that would be a really good one to do.
We could start doing that.
Amongst all of them. But yeah, I do know that he had cancer. He went and fasted in the jungle for 40 days, came back, and the cancer was gone. Or in remission, yeah. And then apparently after that, it kind of reoccurred and came back, yeah. And I would almost argue that it's probably because of dieting and lifestyle, just because of all the research I've looked into
that's usually what it is.
Cancer is derived from.
So, there's hereditary, but that's just like your baseline odds of getting it, and then your diet and your lifestyle factors. So, like, if you drink or smoke, they'll increase your chances. I think it's kind of like a multiplier, you know what I mean? So like maybe you have 1% chance of getting it.
Yeah.
And then you smoke, it makes it 8 times more likely or whatever. So
compound.
So you have 8%. But like maybe someone that has like a 2% chance baseline might have now have a 16% chance of getting cancer if they smoke, because you times it by 8. I think that might be how it works. I'm just saying shit out of my ass right now.
I mean, that makes logical sense to me. I mean,
but you have a genetic predisposition to getting cancers, and then you also have lifestyle and diet factors. So I don't know exactly how the numbers work, but there's multiple factors into.
Ultimately, if you're intaking carcinogens, there's a chance you're gonna get cancer.
I mean, we're all taking in carcinogens all the time. There's no avoiding it. Like the sun, the rays from the sun are fucking carcinogenic. So.
Yeah, you know what I mean though. Like
I know
high doses of
Right.
concentrated carcinogen that's usually man-made.
Yeah. You just keep beer.
Beer. Yeah. It's the only example is right here, so you know what
You're
I
like
mean.
hint.
Yeah, you know, meat. Yes, I'm a vegan. I'm plant-based. I'm not trying to discriminate. It's just a fact. Meat is a group 1 carcinogen. If none of you knew that, now you do. Do a little bit of research into that, and carcinogens cause cancer. So if you can't give up meat, even if just reducing the amount of intake is going to reduce your chances of getting cancer.
Even some vegan things can give you cancer, like sugar, for instance.
Okay.
Too much fucking sugar
Yeah,
can give you cancer.
nice. Yeah, and all that stuff, it's common sense. Almost too much of anything is a bad thing. Almost.
The thing
I mean,
is that
sex, obviously,
if it's something
not the case.
the most enjoyable things in life you have to do in moderation, because they're usually not healthy for you, which is kind of fucking weird. Like,
Yeah.
who designed the world like this? I mean, if there was a creator, I'm not going to try to get into religion, but if there is a creator, why the fuck did he make all the fun stuff bad for you?
Yeah, that's just a cruel joke, man.
Yeah, I mean, if that's the case, otherwise it's just random that all the fun stuff is bad for you, but...
Yeah.
Who
Let me
fucking
go grab
knows?
his book really quick, because it'll kind of segue into the next thing I wanted to talk about.
Okay. Do we have any viewers? That's what you know. Oh, Roland's like, he might just be lurking, actually.
Roland, you lurking, man?
So just, you don't know what lurking really means, probably. It just means like loitering, basically, like...
Hanging out?
You're not even really hanging out. You're basically like watching someone stream, but you have like on silent in the background, or you're like in a different room. You're just like basically contributing to like their viewer count.
Oh,
Basically.
okay.
So I messaged him before the podcast, and I was like,
Nice.
"Hey, our podcast is starting at 7 if you want to watch it, or you can just lurk if you want."
Nice.
So
Dude, yeah. Roland, hook us up with a question. If you want to talk about something, hit us up. Also, I don't know if you can share
share what?
Twitch or any of that. Give us a share too, man. Spread the love. We need more conversations going and some more interaction. So help us spread the word, because we're trying to contribute. We're trying to have some meaningful conversations.
I think we need to try to advertise our next stream more before we do it.
Yeah, let's do that.
Mm.
Well, we're learning.
Yeah, say we're figuring.
We're
it out.
learning. We're fresh fish at this. Okay,
Strong man.
Stefan Arnio. He wrote a few books. This one I've been wanting to check out. I heard when he died. It's funny because when I heard he died, I immediately bought this book because I've been wanting to buy it, and for some reason I don't know.
Put it
Didn't
off.
want it to be off the market or something.
Yeah.
Which is silly. Of course, they're gonna still sell his books.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody's getting it. The profits, his family or something.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, hard times create strong men. I've heard really good things about this. It's very vulgar. It's very in your face. I've heard. Gotten good reviews from it. I'm very excited to actually check this book out. And how appropriate in this time we're in right now. Hard times create strong men.
Yeah.
It's perfect and relative to what is going with this pandemic, because this is a hard time, most definitely. But this can oftentimes be mistaken. Because what's the first thing that comes to your mind when you see the title "Hard Times Create Strong Men"?
Toxic masculinity.
Toxic masculinity, exactly.
But I think there is a little bit of an overreaction to masculinity nowadays.
Yeah. Do you think a statement like that has any truth to it?
I think it does, but I think what people will get upset about is the fact that it just doesn't say hard times create strong people. Because hard times can create strong women too, like why shouldn't it create strong women?
Absolutely.
So, I mean, his demographic is talking to men,
Yeah.
which is fine, but I'm just saying,
That's like
that's
me
how
saying,
people get upset about shit that they shouldn't get upset about. So I can understand that. I can read that. That's the first thing I thought about when I read that. It's not offending me, but I can understand people getting offended by reading that because I understand how fucking
because
people
it's
think nowadays.
segregating. Okay.
Yeah.
That's the first thing so you're thinking for other people.
I'm just thinking from I'm not thinking for other people. I'm just thinking from other people's perspectives. just using a little bit of psychology to understand.
Yeah. No, that's interesting because I can totally understand what you're saying. Like, we live in a world where there's victims waiting to happen. Like, people are
victim mentality.
Victim mentality. People looking for shit to be offended by so they can chime in with negativity. If you're looking for something, you'll find it.
Yeah.
Anything in life.
I like to make a statement. If you're always playing the victim, you're always going to be the victim.
Yeah.
You're never going to take control of your life. I mean, obviously, people are victims sometimes, but you got to overcome that shit and take control of your own life.
Very, very good advice.
Just crazy motivational random thing to say, but it's just fucking annoying hearing people bitch about things, being like, my situation is because of this and this and this. I can do that all day. I could be like, I'm a shitty person, or I didn't fucking do this or whatever because this happened to me, and then this person did this and this person. It's like, ultimately, yeah, shitty things happen to everyone, but you gotta take control of your own life and not let those things hold you down.
Yeah, absolutely.
So anyway,
that's excellent advice.
In tangent.
And let me dovetail on that, actually.
Okay.
Furthermore, I took 2 years of anger management class, and I applied myself to that class. And to this day, it's been about 5 years or 6 years since I was in that class. Actually, it's 6 or 7 now that I think about it. But to this day, there's things I learned in that class I implement in my everyday life. But one thing I did learn in that class, when we're talking about victims, is that victims make more victims.
Yeah, my favorite saying
True.
is hurt people hurt people.
Absolutely, same thing. Exactly. Victims make more victims. So if you cannot get out of that victim mentality, just understand that when you behave that way, you're making victims. You're not treating people the way you can. You can treat people better than that, really. Yeah. We all have the potential to do that. Yeah. Just get out of that fucking victim mentality, all right?
Yeah, I realized that from some of my relationships. I didn't even really realize that I had a victim mentality at first either. But people will be like, I would be kind of bad in relationships. I'd be a little bit toxic in my relationships. And
yeah, me too.
And just being like, why are you the way you are? And then I realized kind of my upbringing, and I'm not going to point anyone out, but I just...
That's episode 11.
Yeah, didn't have the all-star childhood. I mean, people have had much worse than I did, so I'm not like the ultimate victim or something. But some parts of it were kind of bad, and I learned some bad behaviors from other people in my life.
Yeah.
And I was hurt, so I was the victim in that situation. And because I didn't do anything proactively to fix that, I ended up just hurting other people in the exact same way that I was hurt.
Absolutely.
So
that is how things repeat themselves, and how the victim lifestyle is carried out. Basically, the pattern.
Yeah,
that's the vicious pattern of victim.
You have to be the change that you want to see. You can't just fucking talk about it. So
absolutely, it takes work, man. Mm-hmm. Yeah, do some deep digging and learn, get to the origin of what created you that way. You gotta start at zero. You gotta take yourself to zero, work on your shit, examine your shit, analyze your shit, be in an uncomfortable situation even if you can, and then analyze your shit. You're really gonna come up with some interesting results. But yeah, that's great, man. Once you get down to zero and start working at chipping away at yourself and your defects and insecurities and what makes you act the way that you're not impressed with or don't necessarily proud of, you actually start making some progress that way, man.
Yeah. One of the things that I like to think is when I'm doing something I'm not proud of is just thinking about how I'm proud of, like, how do other people perceive me, from that perspective, I guess. Because it kind of makes it more
from those scenarios. Yeah.
Like, do I want to
created what you've created?
Yeah. Like, is that what I want to be known for? Is that who I want to be? Is that what my legacy to be? Is like I was just that fucking asshole.
So here's the thing: you can always go back to anybody and talk to them and say amends.
But you can't. Okay.
You can.
Well, I was gonna bring up this. Okay, so remember that girl that I was dating?
Yeah.
Or not dating, but I was seeing.
Yeah.
From Seattle. I tried to make amends with her. She just ghosts me. She doesn't fucking respond or anything. So I can't do anything in that situation. I mean, I've done the most that I can. Everything within my power.
Talking about without providing. what is what I want to say there? All you're doing, and what I'm saying is, you can always go back and explain why you did that. Basically, what you're doing now, why you acted that way, why you don't act that way now, or why you just don't appreciate that, or why you're embarrassed, or why you're not so proud of that situation, and leave it alone.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're expecting something, then you might be disappointed. But this is just for you, really, to just offload.
Yeah. And just on that note, I feel really frustrated about this situation because I do. Okay, first of all, the way that she acted towards me wasn't the best way, but I mean, it's not the end of the world. But my reaction to it wasn't good, and so I wanted to just apologize to her, but she's just not giving me the chance, and it's fine. It's fine if she doesn't want to talk to me, but also at the same time,
Bothered you still?
It still bothers me because I just want to be heard. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She doesn't like. I wouldn't even give a fuck if like she just heard what I had to say and was like, all right, well, fuck you. Because I at least know she gave me the chance to say what I had to say. You know what I mean?
If you're able to contact her, she's heard you.
Well,
you just want that reaction.
No.
Even if it's negative?
No, because I messaged her on 2 different platforms where you can see if the person read your message. She hasn't even opened up the message. So she knows it's there. It's like on Facebook where you see someone message you. She hasn't even opened it. So she might have read like the first 3, first 4 or 5 words.
She will
but
eventually.
But if I wrote a fucking paragraph, maybe.
She will eventually.
Think so?
Even if it's 5 years from now.
Yeah, maybe.
The thing is, it's just, I mean, it's really just an offloading thing. Obviously, you're your own person. If something bothers you, it bothers you. But I'm just saying, the point I was making is you could always, if there's a situation that has bothered you and you just want to clear get it off your chest and kind of just let it be known to that person that you're upset with the way that happened. That's all I wanted to let you know. I just want to let you know I'm upset with myself. I'm upset with what happened. That's it. Have a good day.
Yeah.
Like, that is pretty therapeutic, in my opinion.
It is. I think it's good for both people in the situation.
Yeah, absolutely. And sometimes you can even get someone to look at themselves that way, like, oh shit, he actually did he did some real problem fixing. It sounds like he's been working on himself and he's being genuine. Like, maybe I should, Then they start considering what part they played in that, and maybe they start analyzing themselves a little bit. I genuinely just want let's go back to that. I genuinely just want her to hear what I say, because I would think even if she was like, oh wow, you seem like so grown, maybe we should talk, I'd be like, let me think about it, because I don't even know if I would actually want to. I just want to fucking be like, yo, sorry, I was a fucking douchebag. Here's the reason why I was a douchebag. That doesn't excuse me for being a douchebag. So I'm just saying, I had some shit going on. Sorry for being a fucking asshole. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's funny.
But it is what it is. I've done all I can do. So
let it go, man.
I just gotta.
I'll give you that advice.
I've tried.
Well, try some more. I mean, you got 70 matches. Reach out to those.
For real.
Yeah, there's more odds and success for you, dude.
I know.
She's not worth it. She's not worth it, man. She doesn't want to give you the time of day, so why the fuck would you care, man?
You're preaching to the fucking choir, man. Because the part, my brain is fucking stupid. So there's the emotion and then there's the logic, and they're always at war in my brain. You know
and that's honest.
I mean, that's everyone, right?
Yeah.
But honestly, the emotion doesn't really go away, even when I think about it logically. Logically, I know it's fucking stupid. There's nothing I can do about it. Yeah. So I should just move on. But emotionally, it just sticks there. You know what I mean? It just bothers me no matter what.
Yeah, I respect that, and I understand that. Emotions, I respect everybody's emotions and their feelings. Yeah. I can be a softie at times, I'm definitely, I don't posture masculinity. It's funny because I was going to talk about that in regards to the book, but, I don't need to posture masculinity. I have compassion, I have empathy, and we all have that, you know what I mean? So to try to avoid those feelings is dishonest with yourself. And I know what you mean. When you like somebody, man. For whatever reason, even if it's a physical attraction, it's those feelings are so strong. Yeah, it's hard to drop.
And I guess
over logic.
We both have been in the situation where we're in bad relationships, but for some reason we still stick in those relationships because there's something about that person that you're still attracted to. Yeah. On some level, so it's hard for you to let it go. Yeah. I guess it's the same thing. It's just letting it go. It's hard to let go of shit.
That's part of it.
Who's
Comfortable.
Yeah, comfortable.
That was a factor for me too. Just comfort. Scared to break the change of
Because
comfort.
people are afraid to change, so you don't want to change. Yeah. Every one of my relationships before I broke up with the person, I always regretted not doing it sooner.
Yeah.
But you're always hoping
You know-
that things will get better, but they never do.
You know when you're in it and it's bad. You just try to put it in the back of your head. You always know when it's not meant. That's why when people say, "Oh my God, I know I want to marry this woman," or it's like that feeling, I don't judge people for that. You know, if they met somebody for a month and they marry them in a month or whatever, it's like I envy them. I'm like, I believe you, dude. Like I believe you feel like that person is meant for you because I've never had that feeling. But I believe that exists. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
a genuine feeling like that.
Yeah, I mean, I've been in love. I think I really easily fall in love. So, but I guess I haven't really had the. Every person that I wanted to marry is because I've been with them for a while. And
Yeah.
Nowadays, I don't even really. Marriage is such a fucking weird concept, honestly.
Yeah, and what's funny is I think a lot of people, not a lot, but there are some scenarios where people they're like, I'm not gonna get married. And I'll meet somebody and we'll use that same scenario.
Mhm.
They've only known them a month and they're like, I'm marrying her.
Yeah.
I think that's what I'm talking about. Those feelings are so raw and real to them that they're like, it just makes sense. You know, I can't imagine me with another person that we feel like we're so compatible. And don't say we have so much in common. Yes, that's a benefit, but you can have a good relationship with people who don't have everything in common with you. That's part of being a realistic human being. You know, like there's very rarely where you find somebody where all the commonalities and like 90% of commonalities
I don't even think you want that.
come together. No, and I don't think you want that exactly.
Personally, I want someone that I can grow with, but I also want someone that can challenge me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Someone that has differing views.
Absolutely. I know the feeling. I'm in search for that too. I don't want somebody to fucking tell me it's going to be rainbows and butterflies and sunshine all day. I would like some real hard-hitting stuff.
Yeah, I like to have intellectual conversations or debates where the other person doesn't agree with my point.
A healthy argument.
Exactly. Well, that's why I said a debate. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not like, fuck you, you're stupid. Just be like, well, why do you think that way? Because I think about it this way. You know what I mean?
That's so hard for people these days to have a healthy argument. It always escalates and people take shit personally.
Yeah.
It's so hard, dude.
Because me and you are pretty good at, we're getting kind of good at that. Because we've had a couple of conversations recently where we were on differing ends, but we didn't fucking take it personal.
Yeah, no,
it's
because we're people. We're not going to agree on everything.
Yeah.
That's how relationships should be too. If you're looking for that golden relationship where you do everything together and you like everything that the other person likes, it's so unrealistic, and you're setting up the expectations, and it's a failed relationship, or it's just a relationship you're not going to enjoy. And in my mind, that's a failed relationship. Even if you're with a person for 50 years, there's plenty of relationships out there where people are married for that long, they'll die together, and they're just unhappy. You've seen that?
Yeah. I mean, I was in an unhappy relationship for a long time, so.
Some people, they for whatever reason, they'll stick with that and they'll run with that to their grave and think that that's what it was meant for them.
Yeah.
I always wondered about that.
It's ideology, man. People.
Yeah.
People were told a certain thing, they believe a certain thing, so
Social
they believe.
expectations.
Yeah, they have this expectation that they're supposed to marry someone and stay with them forever, and that when you get married to someone, you vow to spend the rest of your life with them. But it's not really realistic, like you're saying. So.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes it is if it actually is someone that you're compatible with. But if you're not compatible with them, you shouldn't stay with people.
And compatible,
Just
don't
with
get
them.
compatible confused with not having everything in common or much in common. That's not what he's saying or I'm saying. Compatible meaning you guys can work together and solve problems together.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what we're talking about. So that's what you should be searching for. That's what I'm searching for.
That's what
I'll
I'm
let you know when I
searching
find it.
Good luck. I'm looking to it.
I'll give you a review on that in 5 years.
5 years.
Yeah.
And you're being realistic with your time.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, to touch base back on hard times create strong men, it does sound like toxic masculinity. I think there's some truth in it. I see what you're saying. There's victims. It's funny because we went on to the victim mentality.
Huge tangent.
It's all is meaningful, thought-provoking conversations that need to be had.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm glad we did that. And hopefully we can contribute some of our shitty and good experiences to people out there who care. But I think there's some truth in it. And just to touch base, I know that the man's not being offensive by disregarding or segregating women by saying hard times create strong men. This book is for men.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows? Maybe he was going to write a book that said hard times create strong women. We didn't give him enough time. The man's dead.
I mean, even if he didn't, it's still fine because he's talking to certain people. You know, it's like you don't get mad if a book's written for black people.
That's what I was going to say. If I say, I like pine trees, that doesn't mean people who like fucking spruce trees are going to get offensive.
What about fucking palms, man?
It's just stupid. It's just stupid. Like, I like them all. Like, don't feel obligated to please. That's a people pleaser mentality.
Yeah.
Get out of that fucking mentality. That's another conversation we can have. When you're in that mentality, like you care about pleasing people so much, you care about what they fucking think, you're gonna be unhappy completely.
Yeah. I mean, you're also gonna be
using this to.
Yeah. You're not gonna be truthful to other people. But you're also not gonna be truthful to yourself.
Absolutely, man. Gotta start with yourself. This goes right back to what we were saying. Take yourself to zero. Start working on yourself. Build that building back up. You gotta demo it first. Demolish it and rebuild. That could be a book title. I don't know. Oh man.
You heard it here first.
Yeah. Stay tuned for that one. But yeah.
Also in 5 years.
So posturing. What was my real thing? Okay.
We're talking about toxic masculinity.
Toxic masculinity. Okay. Another thing that kind of piggybacks that topic is I think being tough gets confused with posturing masculinity. In order to be tough, or if you display that you're tough, or if you show that you're tough, you're posturing masculinity, maybe? You get that vibe sometimes, and
so I think it's kind of nuanced, honestly. I think you can be tough without having to aggressively say it.
Exactly.
But also,
that's what I was getting at.
Also, I think if you're always, all times of the day, like I'm tough.
You're posturing masculinity.
You're not really tough, because tough people know that they're weak sometimes, and they're comfortable knowing that they're weak sometimes. You know what I mean? You can have soft moments. You know what I mean? Tough people cry. Like, fuck off if you think that you can't be tough and fucking cry, or whatever emotion that you perceive as not being tough.
I would argue the toughest guys cry.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? They feel more.
Mm-hmm.
I actually learned that from Tupac. You know what I mean? I seen Tupac get really emotional, but then you hear him talking about, he postured a lot of masculinity too, though.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, as an example of like, you can absolutely be a human being. Like, we got feelings. Men have feelings. Let's get the notion that men showing their feelings is bitch made, if you will. But yeah, being tough versus posturing masculinity. When I use that as my life, myself as an example, I definitely consider myself tough. I've put myself through hell, physically and mentally, in many aspects of my life. And I've grown up posturing masculinity. Where I grew up, Yakima. Mm-hmm. Rough, down there in the heart of we call it the ghetto. I don't know if it's technically a ghetto or not, but to me it definitely was a ghetto.
It's ghetto. I don't know, it's not the worst ghetto in the world, but it's still ghetto.
It's bad. So I grew up where you had to posture masculinity or you're going to get your ass kicked. And so that was really tough for me to change my mindset. First I needed to get out of that place. Then I realized it's everywhere. It just kind of comes with if you know that you're tough at something, you really don't care what other people think, and you don't have to posture masculinity anymore. Especially using me as an example again, I have nothing to prove to anybody. I've proven, except myself, I've proven, I put myself to the test because I put myself in suffering to find out what I'm made of. So I really have no toleration for the posturing masculinity bullshit, and I'll actually call people out on it quite a bit.
Yeah.
It's funny. Yeah, because I just don't believe in it, dude. It's just, it's a waste of time, and it's a childish mentality. Very childish, because it just reminds me of being a kid. Trying to I mean, all through high school and middle school, and like, you know, if you weren't tough, then you're a pussy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Bring it back to dating. I feel like a lot of women do the toxic masculinity thing. That's
Absolutely.
I swear to God, women expecting you to act like a man's man is so fucking annoying.
They'll taunt you with it.
I'm telling you right now,
sometimes.
it's fucking annoying.
It is. And that's
It's like
more
you-
pressure that we don't need. You know, I mean, the dude that's trying to posture masculinity, that's worse for him. He's trying to impress you. He's not just trying to impress everybody else. And now you throw this at him, it's like, he's going to drive himself nuts.
Yeah, dude. Like, I don't know, man. Just feeling like sometimes you can't express yourself around women is fucking annoying.
It's because, well, I mean, not all of them are like that. We get it. But in some, I have seen it in some women. The reason we're bringing it up is
A
because,
percentage of women.
yes, the reason I think that you're bringing it up is because we're just kind of letting it be known that it's a thing, in case some of you didn't know that was a thing.
I was
It's
only
a very
saying-
real thing.
The only reason I brought that up is because not only men do it, is what I was saying.
Exactly. Yeah, so I wanted to kind of emphasize to you that you're not attacking women, though, I guess.
Men and
Because we
women
do
it.
kind of care what you guys think about us. Now, we care about how you understand what we're saying. There we go. I really don't care what you guys think about me. This is my raw self. We're not going to agree. This goes back to the thing we're talking about. I'm going to have my own thoughts about things. That's the beauty of having a podcast. We can talk about things, have a conversation without getting all pissed off. You know?
Yeah, just making sure that your meaning is correct.
Yes.
Your interpretation of what we mean is correct.
Yes, because that's important. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I don't want to get misinterpreted.
Misconstrued.
Yeah.
I
I think that's important. I care about that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. In any conversation I'm having, you know, when someone is not hearing me right, I let it be known, like, my message.
Me too. I mean, because people, sometimes I'll say things and people will get offended. I'm like, I'm not meaning it the way that you're taking it. It's
Yeah.
not like I swear.
I forgot, there's another thing I learned in anger management. My counselor, super cool dude, he used to have this saying, and I'm going to not remember this, I'm going to jack it up, but he was like, what did he say? 70% of what is said is actually perceived to be heard. Something like that. But basically what he's saying is 75% of what you say is not being received the way you're saying it.
Right.
People are hearing it and making it their own, what they think you're saying. And
You know what?
That's true.
You know what's even more interesting, just from doing these videos, is the way that shit sounds in my head as I'm saying it isn't the way that it sounds on camera. And I realize that I don't even sound the way that I think I sound when I'm talking sometimes.
That's funny.
Or like my mannerisms, I think they look a certain way, and then I see myself do them on camera. I'm like, I look fucking weird or awkward or whatever, and I don't realize that I'm doing that. So now I'm like trying to think, like, how can I change my mannerisms to where they appropriately reflect how I actually feel inside? You know what I mean? Or like,
Make sure you're being interpreted correctly.
yeah, because I'm like, actually, the way I'm presenting myself is not actually how I feel in my brain, so that's kind of fucked off.
Oh, okay.
This is kind of weird. I don't know if you.
That just take practice, and
Yeah.
I don't feel that way. I'm pretty good at, I feel like, at articulating what is in my head and what the message is trying. I don't know. What's your take on me anyway when it comes to that? As far as
You're better at articulating than me. The thing that I do that I realize that I'm trying to not do right now, because just from watching the previous video, is that I pause a lot in the middle of my sentences. Which
you're trying to get your train of thought. I do that too.
yeah, I don't know. It wasn't pleasant for me to listen to myself pausing like that, because it's just not how I want to represent myself. See right there where I pause before I say represent. It's because I'm always thinking of the appropriate word, I guess.
Which is fine.
Yeah.
In my opinion, that's trying to, you're being aware of how you're interpreted. So you're making sure you're interpreted right.
Yeah. I guess it's better to
You're just critiquing
pause
yourself.
to think correctly, the correct terms that you want to use.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think you're just critiquing yourself a little too much. But
Maybe.
it's better to be heard properly than to, you know what I mean, than to.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm my biggest critic.
Mm-hmm.
I just read last night that a lot of people have the inner monologue, but some people do not have the voice in their head articulating thoughts. They just see shapes and numbers and silence. Okay, I've actually heard that before, and I just heard that recently, like the last few months. It's a really interesting topic. So there's people that don't have an inner monologue, so they don't hear the voice inside their head. You're basically the voice you hear in your head. Some people don't have an inner eye, so they can't visualize anything inside their head.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we're all definitely got a chemical, a makeup that's completely different, That's really interesting, though. To hear it that way, an inner monologue term, I've never heard of that.
You know, it's interesting.
Makes sense. Makes absolute sense.
I've seen some interviews with people that don't have an inner monologue, and they say, the people that have the inner monologue are like, how do you function without an inner monologue? And the people without the inner monologue are, how do you function with one? That sounds like that would drive me fucking crazy. And I thought about that, I'm like, sometimes my voice in my head does drive me fucking crazy. I'm like, shut the fuck up, dude.
Yeah, you know what's funny is I'm a firm believer, and I've learned this from David Goggins, but because he's like, a practitioner of his own mind. But your mind, I like to think of my mind much like David Goggins, because I can totally relate to him on this, much like other things he talks about. It's like a separate thing. Your mind will take you places if you let it. Mm-hmm. You got to learn how to control your mind as much as possible, or train it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Otherwise, you either control your mind the most you can, or that mind will literally control you. And I believe it's completely true. Like, what would you say to that? Do you think your mind has power over your actual your actions?
Yeah.
Or vice versa.
I'm thinking mostly from a mental health thing, and I think that a lot of my fears. I think we were having this discussion before. A lot of my fears do control me.
Absolutely. Yeah, a lot of things are people. Well, I do know that most people make decisions based on fear or love. Mm-hmm. So that is an actual fact.
Those are probably the two strongest emotions, right? So
yeah, most times it's fear, though.
You know what I realized too, a lot from my anger management is that a lot of my anger comes from fear.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like most anger comes from fear. If I'm having anxiety about something and I'm like overwhelmed with that emotion, and then someone comes up and bugs me while I'm feeling that anxiety, I might snap at them, I'd be like, fucking leave me the fuck alone. And then I realize it's because I'm having fear about something else. It's not because I'm just angry for no reason, because I'm not usually angry for no fucking reason.
Yeah.
It's usually it's because I'm overwhelmed. It's even when you get mad at a relationship, say the other person cheats on you or something, or you think that they're going to cheat on you. It's more your fear of not being good enough, or fear of losing that person, shit changing.
It's your own insecurities.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. That goes back to what we were talking about. You gotta go into the origin of your shit and understand your brain. Mm-hmm. Yeah, your brain has all the algorithm. The main algorithm that you need is all the answers are in your fucking head. The more you can analyze that algorithm in your brain, the more successful you're going to be, because you're going to be able to actually train your brain to be better and to not have these negative influences on you, or do these things that are actually bothering you and behaving a certain way.
Yeah.
I actually believe that shit.
Roland said people without inner monologues might have less depression, which I think might be true, because I think the people that I've seen without inner monologues seem pretty happy. They're like pretty happy. They just I just go about my day. You know what I mean? So
yeah. I mean, and they also could be self-absorbed and not very compassionate, maybe. Who knows?
Who knows, yeah. Roland said, Buddhist monks are intense because they spend all that time with no human interaction and only meditate. They listen to the silence inside their minds.
Yeah, it's interesting. And as a person who has never meditated, that fascinates me.
You never meditated once in your entire life?
I don't think so. Not a true, Rafiki type meditation, no.
We should do it.
Right, on a podcast?
Yeah, we can do it on a podcast. Or we can just make a separate video.
That'd be interesting. That'd be cool.
Ben and Danny try meditating.
We should have somebody who does that.
Dude! Brandon!
I know somebody. Dude! Yeah! I didn't even think of him.
Welcome back, dude. Teach us how to meditate, dude.
That's a great idea. We're gonna use that as an episode. We're gonna proposition a buddy of ours that we've known for a while. He just came back from a Buddhist monk monastery, I believe. So
yeah, he was there for
Maybe
6 months or something.
Maybe he can show us the way.
Yeah. I mean, I've tried meditating before, and I've had varying levels of success, but it'd be nice just to have someone that's like, I did that for 6 months.
It might be a boring podcast, but hey,
Well,
we only do it for like, whatever, 20 minutes or whatever.
walking the dirt road every day, I consider meditation when I can get off the bus. Honestly, walking is very meditative for me. I think I
It is.
my thoughts.
The monks, though, I believe they do like a silent. I think that's what he's talking about. Yeah, the silence and just taking in the sounds of nature and things like that, and feeling the wind, and they're all about being one with nature, if you will.
You can get into that kind of focus mode in your brain sometimes when you're going into like, wow, I'm doing that thing where I look around every fucking weird way. When you go to like a wooded area with like a creek, for some reason, for me personally, that kind of gives me this very relaxed state of mind that just kind of comes naturally. I feel like going to a place like that, it's kind of like what Roland's saying here. His friend sits at a river for hours and meditates. I can totally understand that because that would be very relaxing for me too.
Yeah, them water sounds, the river, waterfalls, the trickling water. It is soothing, man. There's something about that's really attractive.
Well, it's even better than, like, for instance, if you're sitting here in the room and you're listening to water sounds through the speakers, you're still not going to get like that fresh air kind of the setting, you know what I mean? So I think that would actually...
Your mind will start tricking you too. You'll be like, I can smell the salt water. Oh, that's funny. But yeah, like the ocean sound, the waves, like those are some attractive sounds. That's interesting. That's a natural response too.
Yeah. Oh shit, it's 8:50.
But yeah, we'll let you know when we start doing this book. We're going to start reviewing it chapter by chapter. It's probably not even what we think.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
when we see that, that's why I want to talk about what your initial reaction was to that, what my initial reaction was to that. As we get into it, it might be something completely different. Or it might be exactly what it is. Maybe it is toxic masculinity. I don't know.
Yeah.
He kind of did do a little bit of toxic masculinity, but he was more of a realist. So, but yeah, much respect to Stefan Aarnio, and rest in peace, as the cliche goes. Rest easy. Mantras, huh? He uses mantras and visualizes words and phrases. Okay.
I thought I read that wrong. I thought you said worlds. I can. You know what? It's interesting.
deep,
I don't do it as much as I did when I was younger, and I'm doing it now because I'm thinking about it. Because when I was younger, I used to visualize words as I was saying them.
Okay.
In my head, it's kind of like seeing them on a piece of paper or something that's kind of written. I think that's why I was good at spelling when I was a kid, though, too, is because I would always be visualizing words as I was saying the sentences.
Visualizing is the best way to remember things.
Mm-hmm.
And we've put this to the test because me and Malia, because there was a while there where I was practicing the low key.
Right.
Remember?
Yeah, I remember you showed us. Yeah.
Yeah. It's an ancient Greek method of basically loci is the American term is called using a memory palace, where you visualize things to remember whatever you want, names, numbers, items. But using visual representation will just lock in that memory. I just proved it to ourselves the other day, and I proved it to myself when I was practicing. I got up to remembering 52 numbers in my head. And when I say numbers, just single digits, but me and Malia did this practice where I made up words around the house and we picked locations using a memory palace. This was like last year, November.
Mm-hmm.
And just a couple weeks ago, I was like, hey, remember that what we did on the memory palace practicing game? She was like, yes, I remember what they were. And we started back. It's like, what was at the front door? She remembered it was the knife chopping spinach on the front door. And she was like, and I remember on the TV, the lava was pouring out onto the floor.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember there was a dragon in the kitchen cooking up food using his fire to heat up the food. She remembered almost every single thing 8 months later.
That's crazy.
Isn't that fucking impressive? That shows you how powerful your mind is, man.
Mm-hmm.
The loci, it works, man. But yeah, it's great to have fun with her 7-year-olds having fun with that and utilizing it very well. Yeah, we're smart, man. Humans are smart.
Yeah, just gotta learn how to utilize your brain.
Don't cheat yourself.
Yeah. So you have a an ending statement or ending topic, conversation thing you want to talk about? Because we're getting like on 2 hours.
Not really. The last thing I would say, this song keeps getting stuck in my head. I hate it, but the beat is good. Fucking Drake and his fucking. Have you heard the song Tootsie Slide?
No, but now I gotta listen to it.
Oh god, dude. I got stuck listening to when I had the rental car, I was listening to radio for a little bit, so Tootsie Slide came on so much, and I was like, oh, I'm feeling the beat. Oh, this is good. And then he starts talking, he's like, left foot run up, right foot slide, right foot up, left foot slide. Like, what the fuck is this? It's like a modern day fucking hokey pokey, dude.
Damn.
Like, the lyrics are terrible, but the beat is good. I was like, oh my god, why can't I?
That's like,
and I can't get it out of my head.
It's modern music, man.
Yeah, I was like, fucking goddamn you,
He has a
Drake.
catchy melody.
Well
for the
done for
vocals.
fucking getting in my goddamn head. I hate your lyrics. I hate your fucking message in the song. It's a good beat though. Damn it.
It's a lot of modern music.
Listen to that song. I want to get your take on that, dude. It's
All right.
so silly. It's
I'll go
silly,
listen to that
man.
right when we're done with this, honestly. So,
Oh, that's funny. But yeah, Tootsie Slide, funny song. Oh man, but now I really don't have much to say.
I guess on that note, we can wrap it up on Drake. Fix your fucking shitty vocals. Or your, not vocals, but your lyrics.
Yeah,
Your
Drake.
vocals are fine.
Yes, the vocals are fine. You hit good pitches and keys, and you know, and all that's great. But goddamn the lyrics, man. Get some substance in that. I mean, get a message, get a narrative. You know, make it entertaining. Besides just a solid beat, anybody can make a solid beat, which is, you know, that's easy. We got
I can do that
electronic.
shit.
Exactly. We can pull up Danny's fucking "Cody's a Bitch" song right now and fucking just get down on that shit. I mean, that's a hard beat right there.
Dude, speaking of which, I'm so glad I'm gonna get my guitar back from Roland because I want to start working on music again.
Cody's a bitch too.
Dude, no, but I might.
You should bring it back. You got so many followers and likes on that one.
No, I was thinking I would do another Mr. Evil Santa Claus song, just a different song, kind of in the same vein, but a little bit more modern, you know.
Totally.
So,
That'd be cool, man.
but yeah.
All right.
Also, Roland, thanks for stopping by, dude. We need to get you on the podcast soon, so when I come over tomorrow, we'll set up a time for you to come over.
Yeah,
You
dude.
can jump on the podcast. That'd be super cool.
Yeah, Roland, we appreciate the feedback and everything. Yeah, appreciate you getting in on this conversation. Can't wait to link up, get you in here in the studio, bro.
We really need to get a third chair in here, though.
We'll make some room for us. We'll set up shop, get you some tea or coffee or whatever you want, some water, beer, and we'll have some conversations, man. Make you up, let's set a date and make you up a list of things you want to chat about, and just have a good time and catch up, dude. That'd be cool.
Oh yeah. Well, all right, guys.
Other than that, yeah, we're done. You got anything else?
Like, comment, and subscribe.
Dude, do it. Pretty soon we're gonna have to ask for donations too, because we're poor right now. This coronavirus.
Yeah.
But yeah, please
so-
share it if you like what you hear. Share it if you don't like what you hear. And give us a like, support it.
Yeah. Follow us on YouTube and Twitch. So.
Yes, exactly. Twitch.tv/The Virus Podcast. Hit it up. If you don't got Twitch, get one.
For real.
At least get on there and watch us. If you can't communicate, we appreciate it. Let's try one liner. We don't know if we'll keep it, but we'll see what's up. This is Ben and Danny checking out. Keep it viral, keep it contagious. We'll check you later.
Nice. I like that one.